Hello. Hello, everyone. I hope you can see. I'm going to stand right in front of it. There we go. If I move over, you can see a little bit better. These are the two cards that we're going to be working on today. So today is going to be a full-on Mother's Day card session because it is coming up. And so if you are working on cards today or other crafts, I'd love for you to drop in the comments what you're working on, where you are if you want to share, how the weather is. For me, it has been hot all week, so I have been inside card making more than anything else right now. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Okay. Oops. There we go. Hey, Kathy! Yay! Good to see you. Virtual hug to you too. Yay! So glad you could make it. So awesome. Are you working on something today? I know you always have projects in the queue. You're probably done with all of this nonsense and you've moved on to like Father's Day and finishing Easter cards. Yeah, I have to finish a few of those as well, for sure. I think I want to make some tags this year too. I don't know. We'll see if I get that done in time. How's everybody's weather today? We're inside. We have the air conditioner on all week long. It has been hot, hot, hot. So it is time to start switching out the clothes, like bringing out the summer clothes, putting away the winter clothes, all that good stuff. Doing well in New York. Good to see you too. Fussy cutting for a project my daughter asked for help with. You are so good. Rainy and sunny today. Getting ready for Mother's Day. Yep, that's what we got going on here today as well. So these two cards, I actually did a video on Monday that shared the latest Hero Arts April main kit and add-ons. There were in that arrangement of stamps, dies, stencils, there were some Mother's Day items, there were some Father's Day items, but there's always a ton of stuff, and I always want everything to get its due. So I made I think I had 5 cards for that video, and I saved a couple of supplies for today. So these are things that were not in that video, and so I did want to share them today and make sure you got to see these awesome stamps and dies that I'll be using today and share a couple ways to use them. And both of these are going to be Mother's Day cards. There are items in the kit that are perfect for Father's Day. There's also thank you sentiments and lots of other things as well. But for today, we're focusing on the moms. So let's switch this up and get started here. We're going to swap. And I think actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're just going to do this. This way you can see everything, because last time I was kind of covering up some stuff. So this is the card we're going to start with. This is a large background stamp that I used, and then one of their Mother's Day Windows dies. So we're just going to jump right in and get started on this. So I have let's see if I can move some of this stuff out of the way. I have to have everything right in a vicinity, otherwise I'll forget where I put it. So if everything is too far away or even under something, I'm like, oh no, where did it go? Okay, so this is the background stamp here. Let's see. Really pretty, just kind of an whimsical flowers, swirls, little items like that on there. So I'm using my original Misty, and since it's a cling stamp, I am going to take out my Misty mouse pad or the black foam pad that's in the Misty. I won't need that today because this has already got foam on it. So I'm just going to place a piece of Nina Solar White cardstock, which is 6x6, and I'm going to place it inside my Misty. Now, if you notice, the inside of my Misty looks gray. And that is because I am using the Tim Holtz Media Grip in here. And I will have lots more about the Media Grip in Monday's video. Monday's video is a new and must-have crafty supplies video, and the Media Grip is one of the items that I chose to feature this month. I'm really excited about it, and I love it, especially inside the Misty, because oh, I'm gonna like knock the desk over, but check that out. Even if you push on it, it doesn't slide around in there. And normally on the glass, it for sure would. So I love this stuff. Okay, now I bent the cardstock, but that's okay. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to use the Rabbit Hole Designs Cottontail Embossing Powder Tool. If you haven't seen one of my older new and must-have crafty supplies videos, then you should check it out, because this is my absolute favorite embossing powder tool. It has a very special powder in there that's like a clay. It's not cornstarch, it's a clay powder that really resists anything. Your fingernail, your finger oils, the embossing powder. So it only allows you to get embossing powder where you want it. So I'm just going to put a little bit down into the tool there, and then you can see it gets right in the tool. And I love that it's a brush and the powder combined. Okay, now that I kind of bent up the corner, this is sliding around a little bit, but otherwise with the grip it doesn't really slide. So I'm just going to cover that with my powder. And then I'm just using Versamark ink today, and I'm just going to cover up this entire stamp. Now, I tried to prep for this like a cooking video. So I have this formulation in several different steps already done, because I wanted to make sure I didn't have to heat emboss here with you, but just so that you get an idea of what it looks like with the embossing powder on it and things like that. I am just going to go through the steps, but I'm not going to heat set it on camera. I already have one heat set for you so that you don't have to listen to the for like an hour. Okay, I am going to close this door. And then for these large background stamps, my favorite way to get a great impression is to use the StampersSecret Debby tool. Oh, Elsie, hi Rebecca from St. Catharines, Ontario, and Diane, good to see you as well. Ugly and rainy here. You know what? I'll take rainy. You want to give me your rainy? I will take your rainy. I am not ready to go from April straight into the dead heat of summer. At our Mother's Day in the UK. Oh, that's right. You guys have a different date for your Mother's Day. And maybe some ideas for next year. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to use the Debby tool so that I get even pressure all over the Misty door here. There we go. And for me, I know lots of people have different methods. Some people just use a towel. For me, this handle is very comfortable in my hand, which makes it easier for me, even when I'm having, say, wrist or carpal issues, to get a nice impression here. Okay, so I think that's probably good. I just, don't want to mess it up, but I think that's probably good. Okay, so now I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm going to just put some typing paper down. And again, this is another one where it's like, I've used lots of different things to catch embossing powder. The reason that I love typing paper is because you can fold it and pour the powder back into the jar really easily. I've used coffee filters before, but for some reason, because of the shape of the coffee filter, I had powder going out all the different areas, like the different funnels, and I would always make a mess. I'll probably make a mess anyway, but that's just how it goes. Okay, so here's the pattern. Isn't that so cute? I love this. I think it's such a unique, there's flowers, but there's swirls and there's dots and all that good stuff. All right, I'm going to pour this back in. There we go. And then we're going to set this aside. And we're going to pretend like we heat emboss this, because I don't, like I said, I don't want you to have to listen to the for like 5 minutes. So I have another one here. that has already been heat embossed. This is Hero Art's gold embossing powder, and I love it. It's got a great fine detailed embossing powder. Hi, Bev. How are you? Marianne's Craft Corner. Good to see you as well. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm really excited that you're all here. We are doing Mother's Day cards using Hero Arts add-ons that I did not use in Monday's video. So if you want to see more Hero Arts after this, go back to Monday's video and you'll see a bunch of cards. Some of them are Mother's Day. I might flip through them real fast at the end here. Okay, so I don't know why I did two, but you know what? That's okay. So we're going to take one of these and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending, but I'm going to do some selective blending. I've mentioned before about the waffle flower brushes, and selective ink blending is one of the things that I really love to do with these because you can get into the tiniest of areas. This is the 0. This is 1. And then these are the flat shader brushes. And I love these edges just for getting into certain stencil spots. I think they're super helpful. So you can see, especially the larger ones, I've been using them quite a bit. And if you've seen in some of these videos in the past few weeks, I've used them a ton. Isn't it a great, unique cover stamp? I agree. Few minutes late, but yay, caught the live. I bought this stamp. Oh, you did, Karen. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's such a pretty one. I just think it is unique, Kathy. I agree. It's just different. So we're going to take advantage of some of the design on here being unique and different. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take some, all right, let's put a little bit of the grip down. Again, let me try and get all of this in camera at the same time. It's like tough because I have so much around me. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put a little bit of the grip here for that. And I didn't bring my grip over for the main piece, but that's okay. You'll see that in Monday's video, like I said. So we're going to take advantage of some of the design elements right on the cardstock here. And let's see, I'm going to use one of the Waffle Flower 1 size of these brushes. I think this is perfect for some of these swirls and open areas. So you probably all know this already, but heat embossing actually resists ink pretty well. So if you end up with some ink on top, you can just rub it off with a dry cloth. I sometimes use my fingers because I'm like the messiest crafter. I always have ink all over my hands. Okay, so I am just, see, I can just really get right into these open areas here, which I just think having that with your brushes is just a handy thing to have. So let's fill in a few more of these areas. So I'm going to start with Squeeze Lemonade here and fill in anything that's kind of like a swirl, or, you know, some of these look like almost like an amoeba shape. But I'm going to fill those all in with the Squeezed Lemonade. And I hope you already know I'm definitely using Saltwater Taffy today. My new favorite color. Did anybody catch Tim Holtz's live this morning? He was using, let's see, what was he? He was using like a crackle paste and some other new mediums. They look pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest mixed medium, but you know, when I watch his lives, I'm always like, oh, I need that. Hi, Shell. Good to see you. Shell is saying hello from Houston. How is your weather out there? I'm hot. Everybody else seems to be talking about rain here. Okay, so nope, we got one more like big spot down here. And then I'm even going to add just a little bit. See, I can just cover up just that little dot there. And let's see, go through a couple little spots like that. Okay, I think that's pretty much what I want to do with Squeeze Lemonade for now. So I'm going to switch it out and I'm going to move over to the Saltwater Taffy. Now for this part, I am going to work on a larger area. An amoeba. Fried eggs. Oh, that's totally what it looks like. Diane. Oh boy. when Diane and I get chatting on YouTube, we get a little silly. So, okay, so let's fill in. Because I'm going to do a large area, I am going to use the domed foam blender from Tim Holtz because I really want it to be light. And this is, for me, the easiest way to get a light impression. Well, thank you for catching me live. That is awesome. I'm so glad that you guys are joining me. I was like kind of having allergies today and just feeling a little under the weather just from those allergies. But I was like, you know what? When you schedule the live, you got to do the live. So here we are. Yay. Hi, Cindy. How are you? All right. So I'm just lightly, again, this is the only way that I can do lightly is with the domed foam and sometimes those brushes, the bigger brushes that you can kind of, that have the handle on the top. I think that's what it is. It's like the handle and the top itself. Okay, I did something to this table and it is like rocking all over the place. So I'm going to try and do this without making you seasick. So even like these little areas in between, it's okay if like a little gets on the yellow. I'm all right with that. But I don't want to fully cover up, so I'm trying to just go around them as best I can. And you'll see I'm going right over the flowers. I'm going to make the flowers a whole other color, but the way that Distress Oxides work, you can actually layer them on top of each other. So I think the color that we end up doing for the flowers will still show up pretty nicely. And, you know, when you do kind of cross over onto the yellow, you get a nice blend right on that area where the Saltwater Taffy kind of crosses over the squeezed lemonade. So I'm okay with that. I like a little bit of a blend. All right. So, and again, I don't want this like heavy, 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 no white, you know, that kind of thing. So like some spots where it's super, super white, I'm just going to go over a little bit, but everything else I'm going to let it be and keep it soft. Because if I go in, I'm going to make a mark and then I'm going to have to get it darker. You know, it's like cutting bangs. Like I'm going to go too short on one side and then I'm going to have to go shorter on the other side. Gorgeous color combo. First live, but not first time watching you. Thanks so much, Judy. Good to see you. Okay, so now for those flowers, we're going to go in with some, my other favorite color, Kitsch Flamingo. For me lately, it has been all about the pinks, the corals, some gold, and yellow. Okay, so here's where the shader brushes really shine. So you can just put it right on the edge of the brush like that. So I think you can probably see that the edge of the brush is so much darker than this other part here, and that's because that's how I add the ink, just like that, kind of drawing it on there. And then you can just use it almost like a paintbrush to add the ink color right where you want it. This is super fun, first of all, because it's really easy to kind of color in these images, but it also saves you a ton of ink, right? So when you're coloring in, say, a stenciled area, instead of covering the whole stencil with a color, you can just go into individual areas and do this selective ink blending like this, and you can also save a ton of ink that way. So let's color in all these big flowers here with that shader brush because I can get into those petals really nicely. There we go. Okay, I think we have another one down here. Do you ever like finish a panel like this and realize you missed one? I do that all the time, like all the time. I have to go back, take the ink out, take the brush out. So hopefully we'll catch them all. Okay, now those are done. I'm just going to do the flowers, and then I'm going to take the zero, which I don't use the zero as much, but I'm finding now with things like this, they work perfectly. So again, just a tiny bit of ink there. And then I'm going to start in the center of these other flowers and just kind of circle it towards the outside. So not, you know, it's not perfect coloring, but just kind of getting some color on there. Okay. Probably these ones on the edge are going to be cut off anyway because I am going to cut this down to an A2 panel, but you know, just in case. So we'll just grab these And then last but not least, I wanted to share, like, not to be worried about trying different inks on top of each other. So the Distress Oxide inks are very unique. It's a unique formulation. The Stamp Market inks are totally different. Another unique formulation. These are foam pad inks, not felt pad inks. And they've got really vibrant colors. They dry pretty quickly as well. So I'm going to tap a little bit onto, so you can see that foam pad there instead of the felt pad. Pretty quickly covers up that brush. And I'm just going to see how they like the center of those flowers are little dots. I'm kind of going to mimic that with the brush and just add some little flower centers here. Okie doke. And we got one down here and one in the corner. And I forgot to do that on the one that I die cut, so I'm going to leave this out so that we can put that on top. Okay, so now this is my panel. It's been ink blended, it's been embossed. Like I said, you can go over it with a dry cloth if you want to get some of that gold shining again. So now I'm going to trim it down to an A2. And the way that I like to do this is, first of all, if there's an edge, I'm obviously going to cut that off first. But say I'm going to the 5.5 for the length, I am going to just cut like some off on this side and then go down to the 5.5 on this side. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like to cut a little bit off of both sides because I feel like the center usually is the best of the impression and the best of my ink blending. So, all right, I'm going to do the same thing. See this, because of how the stamp was positioned in the MISTI, I didn't get the impression to the very edge. So I'm going to make sure to cut that off on this side. Okay, and then we're going to even it up by cutting it to the 4 1/4 on this side. So what we could do is we could add that color to the large flowers as well. So I think that's what I'll do. Yeah, this way there's a few more of them because I really like the way this looks, just kind of tapped on for the flower centers. There we go. So that's the panel. Now, again, just like the cooking show, I am going to put this on the other burner and then we'll take out the one that's already been die cut. And let's see here. Okay, so I did hold it in place with some Thermoweb Pixie tape. I've mentioned before that it doesn't love to adhere to Distress Oxide ink, but you can see it did stay in place. And then the pressure of the die cut machine really pushes it into the paper. So just be careful when you pull it off so that you don't rip it or tear it or anything. Okay, so this is the die. This is the Hero Arts, I think it's called Happy Mother's Day window die. I'll have everything linked in the description below if you want to check it out. So what it does is, this is really cool. It cuts out the oval and then the like vines with the hearts and the sentiment are attached on the side. So you just kind of have to weed out a little bit here. Yeah, Cindy, I agree. The flower centers, I forgot to do it on this one, so we're going to have to add it back in. But I think we're going to do one other thing on this one as well. So in these lives, when I pre-make the card, I notice things about it that I'm like, I wish I had done that, you know. So, and then I fix it in this live. So you guys help me like make the card better because, you know, when I make videos, I don't want to make things 4 and 5 times. I really want to get the stuff up so that you can all see what's new and you know, what's out and stuff like that. So I don't try not to be too much of a perfectionist with cards because this is supposed to be fun, right? It's not supposed to be like you're not supposed to look at it and think that this was made by a computer, right? You're supposed to look at it and say somebody put love and effort into this card. And so, window die. I do too, Cindy. I think it's really pretty. Yeah, it really is so nice. And when I'll put it on the white cardstock in a minute and you'll see, but I first want to do a few things. So first things first, let's add those flower centers in because I really think that they kind of pop and they just add a little something to the card. So let's do that. Flower centers here, here, just a little bit there. Am I missing any? There's probably something in here that it was a flower center, but that's okay. So this is what the other thing I wanted to do. Well, we'll poke these out as well, but I wanted to take some small brushes and just add a little bit of extra color in the colors that they're on here. I'm gonna have to do it very gently because I don't want to tear anything, but I want like this yellow to be darker than this yellow. So let's see if I can do that without too much. Let's see. So I'm going to use that really little brush. Again, I think that's perfect for this. So this is the 0. And I'm going in with the same color. I'm still using Squeeze Lemonade, but I'm just going to add a little bit more in just a few areas on the letters so that those letters really pop off the background. See, this was my worry. I'm worried that I'm just going to get a little too aggressive with the ink blending and then tear this off the window. So I'm gonna have to just be really careful and gentle and just hold it in place. This would be really good on top of the grip because, let's see if I can at least get it underneath some of the letters. Stay. It's a little bent, so. But that grip, you can wash it. You can just wipe off the ink. It's very handy. I'm really enjoying it. So, especially if you work on a glass mat, you know how slippery it can get, which is great when you're trying to come in with some blending, but sometimes you want things to stay still. Okay, so let's get a little bit of extra yellow on there. Okay, and then let's see, I'm going to do most of it just with saltwater taffy, and then on these darker spots, I'll add the Kitsch Flamingo, because otherwise I think it's going to end up all looking the same, and that's not really the goal. So, oh yeah, see, and I think especially when I wiped off the ink so that you could see the gold, I think I probably wiped some of the ink away, which is fine, but for the letters, I really want them to stand out a lot more so that you can read them because they are, kind of like a very squirrely script. Is that a word? Squirrely script. This way, I think they'll stand out on the background a little bit more. It really does, Cindy. I really think it does make a difference. I think it's going to look a little less washed out than this one does. Okay, so let's add a little bit here, 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 here. I'm wondering now, like looking at this, no, I don't think so. I'm wondering if I had added some spun sugar or something like that, but I don't think I did. It just must have gotten, like through the die cut machine, through the wiping the ink away, it just must have gotten a little lighter than it would have been otherwise, which is fine, but I like this better. Okay, so that's good. Then let's add just a touch of Kitsch Flamingo in this spot down here. Oh, and I mentioned last week, I think it was last week. Whew, time's really starting to bleed together here, but I think I mentioned last week with these brushes that you can wash them. And somebody asked me how to do that. You can simply run them under the sink. If you don't have paste or something on them, if it's just ink, just run them under the sink like you would a watercolor brush, and you'll be surprised so much comes out. You could use a light, like a teeny tiny bit amount of dishwashing soap, but I didn't find that I needed to. Wait, I can't find one that let's see. Nope, not that one. That one. See, like this one, I think it has like a hint of pink in it. And I don't even know if you can see that. It has like a hint of it, but this is mostly white and it will totally not transfer any ink or anything like that. So you can wash these, which I think is fabulous. And they're just, like I said, so easy to wash. So, okay, so that was a little bit of Kitsch Flamingo at the bottom. That really wasn't a lot, but that's okay. So now we can set that aside. We can set that aside. We can put our brushes back so they're not rolling around here. And now we can put this. Now, the other thing this would be really great for, I did not do this, but this would be a great shaker window because you could put this right on acetate and then just put foam tape right around the back and just trap some shaker goodies behind it. And it, I think, would look really, really pretty with some like iridescent shaker goodies back there. But I'm just going to do flat today. All right, so see, I think that this stands out quite a bit more than this one does. They're both nice, but I like this one better. So let's just use a teeny bit of liquid glue. Use a little dot here on a line. And then let me move this, and I'm gonna hold it, not put it down because I have stuff all over the place. Oops, and then I missed one little guy. That's the other thing. You're like, oh no, the little E dot is trapped in there. Okay, there we go. I think I got them all out now. So because it's a little bent, I was working on it and kind of manipulating it a little bit. I'm going to just put a teeny bit of liquid glue, just kind of like all over the letters, just try and hit. It doesn't have to be entire, behind the entire die cut part, but just little bits here and there so that the whole thing kind of sticks down flat because I don't want it getting torn because some of it is popping up a little bit. Okay, so see that part is a little bent, but that's okay. And how about here? And just make sure this hasn't dried too much. There we go. All right, I think that's probably okay. And then we're going to do one more thing. And that is okay. So just lining that up there, and then I'm just going to press down. I've mentioned this before in videos. This liquid adhesive has a slightly longer dry time on purpose so that you can get things into place and straighten them out before it gets stuck down forever. Shaker cards, anything with bling. I know I didn't do either of those. I was gonna put a little sequin, but there's so much going on in here. I was afraid it was going to lose it. But if you do say a darker color for this part, I think the shaker would look nice behind it, especially. These are such light colors. I felt like if I put anything else on there, shaker cards are addictive. They are. They are. Okay, there we go. That's what I'll have to do. I'll have to use like a brighter or a darker color for the window, and then I think it'll work great with a shaker. Okay, so that is that part. So now the last thing that I did was I'm going to grab some of the Nuvo Crystal Glaze. I can feel my bottle is like almost empty, so I've already ordered some more, but I have used a few different things lately. I tried the Lawn Fawn glaze, and I would say that the Lawn Fawn glaze is great for dimension. If you were doing dots, it's thick, so it's going to stay up nice and tall for you. But if you want to cover something with a thin coat, like see how I was able to get right into that small part of that vine there, you need something a little bit thinner so that you can work it around the entire die cut. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly, so basically I'm just drawing right over the top of the letters. And for me, the Tonic Studio Nuvo Crystal Glaze is perfect for that. I had recently, somebody recommended this. If you are here and you recommended this, let me know, because somebody recommended, mine was coming out very thin and loose, and it was coming out way too fast. Like it was rushing out of the bottle. And somebody said, put it in the fridge for a little bit. So I did. I put it in the fridge for just maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours. and it was so much better, like a million times better. So if anybody else is dealing with that with one of their glazes, I mean, okay, I don't want to recommend because I don't know like how your glaze would work or your fridge or whatever, but it worked for me. So let's see here, almost done. And this is nice because it's both dimensional and shiny, so it will help these kind of pop out from the background even more, which is fun. So this is the floral card portion of the day. And then we're going to do kind of the fun, whimsical card. Okay, let's see. Last little bit. There we go. Oh yeah, yeah, isn't it, Kieran? I think it's just perfect. It's just enough to make it, I mean, it's hard to tell on camera, but it's definitely like just a little bit more dimensional and then also shiny, which is nice. Because like we're saying with bling and everything else, everybody loves shine and bling. So that is this one. And I'm going to move this out of the way so that I don't touch it because I am the worst at that. I constantly end up touching those before they're dry. So I'm just going to totally move that. All right, so the next one we're going to do is, like I said, more of a whimsical one. We're going to make a little hat and some shoes, and I'm going to share a couple of different papers that I've been really enjoying lately. So let me get the brushes out of the way. So the two different, let's talk about the dies first. The dies are set. They come with the little hat, the shoes, which you can clip these apart if you want. I figure I'm always going to have them be the same color, so I'm gonna have them just stay clipped together. And then with small dies like this, I also usually keep them clipped together rather than clipping them apart, just so that I don't lose them. Because like how many times I've lost a little die like this little flower, I can't even tell you. Please name the glaze again. Yes, of course, it is Tonic Studios Nouveau Crystal Glaze. It is my favorite for sure. I just think it doesn't bubble as much as other glazes I've used, and it's pretty easy to get it out of the nozzle. Like I said, if it's too easy, you can definitely put it in the fridge, but if I don't know if you, there you go. Can you see, like, it's not this thick, it's this thin, the tip. So the tip is pretty thin, which means that the liquid has to be thin enough to get through that tip, and it really is easy for me to just draw on top like that. So okay. And okay, so let's get back to these. These are I think it's fancy hat and shoes dies from Hero Arts. Again, I'll have them listed in the description below the video, but this is just a really cute set. I just thought it was so much fun. And you could really have some fun with this depending on maybe color combinations. You could cut glitter cardstock for your shoes, do like the Dorothy red shoes. I mean, really, you could have a lot of fun with this, really customizing it to your favorite colors. But it might be in the description portion of the slides. Please name the glaze again. Okay, yes, I think it's in the description box below the video. I'll double check afterwards to make sure that I have this one in there. But it's from Tonic Studios, and it's called Nouveau, Nuvo, and then Crystal Glaze. So they have crystal drops, they have crystal, they have all kinds of Nouveau drops, Nouveau glitter drops, Nouveau. This is the one that they've had for a long time. It's just called Crystal Glaze. So you should be able to find it at like a ton of different places. Sometimes if I'm like I need it real quick, I get it from Amazon, but they have it at all the little, Simon Says has it, like everybody has it. So you should be able to find it pretty easily. Okay, so now when I'm talking about customizing and cutting out of different things, different cardstocks, different colors, I shared this pad, I believe, in the last new and must-have crafty supplies video. This is the Memory Box foil cardstock, and it's their vintage pastel mirror pad. You get 2 of each 12 metallic and pearl papers. The pearl papers are gorgeous. I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, look at that color. It's so pretty. I have been so impressed. About a year ago, I want to say, Memory Box started coming out with different paper pads. They weren't just paper, they were, different things like glitter cardstock, foil paper. And their last foil paper was thin foil paper. I still loved it because it was super shiny, came in lots of different colors, and it's a 6x6 pad, so it's easy to store. But this one is not thin at all. It is real cardstock, like super thick. So it die cuts beautifully. Oh, just look at these colors. Aren't they gorgeous? Here's like the light blues, like a sea foam. I just love these colors. And then you have the more traditional metallics, like that, and these pearls. The pearls are really what got me, but I'm definitely going to use all of these for sure. And I found with these Memory Box pads, I'll buy one and I'll use it up. I am very unlikely to use up everything of something, but these pads, I use them up and I buy them again. So highly recommend these. These are great for this. The other thing that I wanted to share now, this one, can't remember if I shared it already or no, I think I'm sharing this one on Monday. So this one will be in the new and must have crafty slides video on Monday. This is from My Favorite Things and it's called Pretty in Plaid. And I don't know, I've shared before. Hi Alexia, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Shared before that I love plaids, especially rainbow plaids. Lawn Fawn has a rainbow plaid pattern paper, and so I definitely wanted to try this out, and it is super cute. So you get two of each pattern here, and just the rainbow is just the super, super, super cute. Plus, I love that you get, the straight up and down plaid and then the diagonal plaid as well. Adorable. So those are the things that I'm going to use for recreating this card. And I'm going to start with, let me just show you the hat and how you can kind of alter that as well. Okay, where did I put my hat? Here it is. Okay, so this is the rainbow plaid hat, but you can see I also cut it out of white cardstock, and this is why. Hero Arts has done this before with certain things. Basically, this hat, the band on the hat is attached on the sides, but it's die cut in the center, which means that all you have to do is a little snip here. Oh, I kind of got a little more than I wanted. And here, can you see that? There we go. You love plaids too? Yeah. Oh, the rainbow plaids are so cute. And the MFT paper is so pretty. Yeah, I love their pattern paper. They have great colors and kind of really versatile designs. That's what I really like about them. They do dots and stripes and graph and, just all kinds of really versatile designs. Okay, so I snipped both sides, top and bottom. And this way you can put a little hat band on the hat. So I'm definitely going to do that. And I didn't do this with my other card. Oh, here. I'm looking for it. It's right here. I didn't do this with my other card, but you can cut the brim too. So we'll try it and see how it looks. Maybe it will look better. And that'll be one of those things that I fixed in the live today. All right, so this is just going to get a teeny bit of liquid glue. And the nice thing about this is because this one has it too, you just know exactly where to line it up. It just makes it easy. Cute little hat band. Love that. All right, let's see what the brim looks like. And you can tell me if you think it looks better. Good evening from England. Hi, Karen. How are you? All right, so again, it's just attached here at the end and here at this end. So you just need to snip with a little pair of scissors there and there. Oh, that is kind of cute. I don't know. What do you think? Should we do brim and hat band or just hat band? All right. While you're thinking about that, let's grab the shoes. So the shoes are really cute because the way that the die cuts, you get kind of the exterior and then the inside sole of the shoe. So you can cut them in two different colors. All right. so that's our shoes. Oops, that's not gonna work. There we go. Okay. My physics switch unpacked but not set up yet. Yay! So exciting. We're the good Karens. Oh, you're the best Karens. That's what you are. You do the band. Oh, do the band. Okay, good. Somebody said do the band, so we're doing the band. Thanks, Karen. Okay. We are gonna just do a very, very light. I squeezed a little too much there, but that's okay. All right, and let's put that band right on. And again, this one's die cut as well. It's just I haven't snipped it, so it just makes it really easy to line it up where it's supposed to go instead of looking all weird. Okay, now the other thing with the hat is these flowers and bow. Now, where did I put? Oh, here it is. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. The little bow gets me. It's just too cute. All right, a little bit of liquid glue. Now, you could, instead of the bow, I really like the bow though, sorry. That's why we're doing bow again. Sometimes I change it up, I'm like, oh, I did this last time, I'm going to do this time, but I really like the bow. I think it's just way too cute. Okay, the other thing you could do is these flowers can layer on top of each other. So you could do, 3 flowers later on top of each other and then put that right on the hat, but we're going to go with bow today. And the last thing we need to do is just layer up some pattern paper and some, oh, here are the flowers I could show you. So there's the largest one, the medium one can go right on top of that. You could just do 2 if you wanted, or here's that last one. You could do these in different colors so that each one, oh, that does look cute, just like that. Without the white brim, so it stands out against the white background. Oh, now that is true. That is true. All good. And think you can't think of better ways. Aw. Yay. All right. So here's the foil cardstock that I cut all of this business out of. I did cut some shoes for another card. So let's set this aside. This is definitely, let's see. So we're going to need an A2, then we're going to need a white with something just slightly larger than it. So let's cut the white down to slightly smaller than, normally I would do a layer that's 4 by 5 1/4 on top of an A2, but since this is going to go on top of something else, we're just going to do it just slightly smaller. Oh boy, come on. Let's see. Here's where we would do 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go right in between the next two, just slightly smaller. I just want that little bit of a margin. And the only reason that I definitely did it white was so that I could stamp the sentiment right on there too. So, we could do it on a color and then do the sentiment on a sentiment strip. That's always an option as well. Okay, so this then, I want just like that. So this is going to be fine. I'm going to cover this up anyway. We're going to put it on pattern paper and then it'll be on a base. So you won't see this, but let's do this. This time I'm going to take tape runner and just get in right around these die cut openings here. This is definitely my favorite way to not waste these papers because they are so beautiful. I know when I don't do it, people get really upset. I'm like, I do that all the time. I definitely do. I keep colorful cardstock right on my desk. I think I've showed this before, cut down to A2. So I have my 8.5 by 11s behind me. You can't see, but I'm pointing behind me. And then I have on my desk, right in front of me, I have the same colors cut down to A2 pieces so that I can die cut them really easily. I can just grab them for a background. I can use them to matte colors, things like that. Okay, so there we go. We're just gonna do a little bit more. There we go. Love that. So now I just need to trim this guy. Let's see, I think that's gonna be a little too thick still. This is like the bangs again. A little too thin. Gotta cut more off the other side. Okay. Okay. I think that's okay. There we go. Good enough, right? Let's get this out of the way. And now we want to put this on some, oh, I shouldn't have moved that, on some plaid paper. So I grabbed the pink plaid this time. Thought that would be fun. This is just going to go down to a regular A2, super easy peasy. And I would definitely save this because you could cut out the flowers, you could cut out the bow in that. Whoa. Okay, that was like the whole camera stand. That would have been a disaster. All right, so now this time, whoa, upside down. I'll put some in here, some here, just all over the place here. There we go. And line that guy up, right, just so that you can see a little bit. Aw, super cute. So it's hard to see, but like you get the plaid, then you get the foil, then you get the white cardstock. Okay, so now I think what we can do, since the band is white and the background is white, we can pop this up. And I think that will help it to stand out. So what I want to do first though is then I want to stamp the sentiment so that I can get that done. Okay, and I'm going to show you the sentiment that I grabbed. So again, I put the grip right in here. This time it's over my Misty mouse pad, right? So, but that grip is still grippier than the mouse pad, which I love because the magnet is great, but we all know sometimes everything still shifts. And I have just definitely found that that grip really helps keep everything in place. Okay, I'm just going to place this in here to get an idea. Let's see. Okay, like there, and then we can have that sentiment like right there. The sentiment I grabbed from, ooh, I want to say it's like Mothers and Fathers Animals or Critters or something like that. Solid color brim and band. Yes, it would look good with like pink maybe, or even blue would look cute. So this stamp set from Hero Arts is so cute because it's got the bears together, the cats, the dog with the puppy, and it can be used for either Father's Day or Mother's Day. So you have Mama Bear and Papa Bear. You have Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for taking care of me. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for always listening. And thank you for having my back. So I think this is just such a cute little set. The card that I made with it for Monday's video is a Father's Day card. This is another sentiment die from the add-ons, and then I colored the bears, and then I used Thank You for Having My Back, Papa Bear. Super, super, just really easy and cute, but I just love these images. I think they're so sweet. Okay, so, but I just threw it out of the way, and now we actually need the other thing that it has is Happy Father's Day, Happy Mother's Day. So we're going to use Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And I never do this. Like, I never do sentiments on an angle. Like, it kind of makes me a little crazy. But you know what? I think with this one, I like it. I think it's cute. Okay, so, okay, wait. Let's see if I can grab it. There we go. Get these guys out of the way, and then I am going to go, I think, to this time with all the pink. I think Kitsch Flamingo. I think I used, actually I might have used Kitsch Flamingo last time too. That's okay. All right, now the thing about these light distress oxide inks is that the first one is just going to be way too light. So I know it seems like a little time consuming and annoying, but if you just keep going until you get it to where you want it, or you could always layer like some picked raspberry on top or something like that. But I find like, I know it seems silly, but with the Misty, you might as well, right? Like just keep stamping it until you get it to the point where you're like, oh, that's the color I want. See, like I feel like this now super matches that, which is awesome. All right, so I'm going to take it out, And I know I have foam tape here. I placed it like just within reach because I knew I was going to use it at some point. Okay. So yeah, I think if we pop up this hat, I think it's going to be fine. But yeah, you could have done like a nice color here too. Let's see. Oh yeah. See, I think that's fine. But yeah, the colored band and the colored brim would be really, really cute. You know, it'd be also cute. I don't know if it would really show up because this is so thin, but like if you had a solid color hat and then a plaid brim, you could take one of your tiny blending brushes and just brush the edge of the white brim. It's true. I could really get in there and just get the tiniest amount. Let's see if we can fit the shoes on here first. I think I gave myself more room last time, but oh, maybe no, I didn't. Maybe I see. I kind of want it like this though. See, this is where I'm gonna fix something because like there's weird white space here. I don't know. It just looked weird. So maybe going this way would be cuter. Let's try it. Why not? Right? And then we can put some flowers here and there. Okay, so the thing about this is you definitely want to do well, which one do you want to do first, huh? Yeah, I think I want to do this one first just so that I can get the toe in the right spot there. All right, I'm gonna use a little liquid glue. Just a touch. Here, here, here. I'll show you. Hi, Beth. You're at the craft store again, Lucky Duck. Thanks for stopping by. What are you guys making over there? Cindy, I know, same. Same. Okay, so let's put that one there. And see, I can kind of twist it while it's still drying. And so it really just depends. Sometimes you really want like a fast drying liquid glue, depending on what you're working on, but sometimes it is really nice to have something take a little bit longer. Okay. Press that down. Now these guys, I don't, they're gonna fit right in here like puzzle pieces, so I don't have to use liquid for that. I can just use some tape runner and pop that in there. Oops, sorry guys, I'm like way off to the side there. Okay, and some tape runner on this one. Pop that in there. Now we have these cute little flowers. And let's see, we could do one there, one there. Oh, maybe we do the larger one there. And then the small one kind of like there. Or there. Or no. Definitely not there. Or like right there. What do we think? That's true, Beth. You do get that employee discount, and that's really nice. Okay, let's see. Let's put that guy there for sure. That one there for sure. I think that one's okay under the brim. That's fine. So this is also what I like about the Hero Arts release is that we have like two totally different looks from their stamps and well, there's tons of different looks actually in this release because it's not just it's the little critters that I just showed you, kind of the whimsical. Oh, thanks so much, Shay. Whimsical shoes and hats and things like that. Then there's also the florals, right? So there's just a lot in this release. So let me see, did I bring the others over? Did I put them somewhere? Nope. Of course, now I can't find them. So I have, oh, no, 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 I do have them, I do have them, I do have them. If you haven't seen Monday's video yet, they also have vases with flowers and then these kind of open Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day stamps. They have floral mandalas that I stamped in embossing ink, put the gold embossing powder on top and ink blended on top of those. Again, this is a thankful for you, so you can use, there's all kinds of different sentiments. The main kit has an amazing word die, an amazing shadow die, a small sentiment stamp that has bunches of little sentiments, and then this cling stamp, the 6x6 cling stamp. This is different than the one we used today, with these little bees and roses and just so beautiful. Oh, and it has layering stencils too, that you can color in. So I did not use just straight up ink blending with the brushes. I actually used layering stencils so you can see the details that you get there. These are from the Spotlight dies. Dang it. See if I can find this release in my necklace. Oh, I know. Okay. I know it's so hard. These are the Spotlight dies. So you cut each one out of, well, you can do them all out of white and then color them. I like to be lazy. So I cut the back one out of green cardstock, the middle one out of yellow cardstock, and the front one out of white cardstock, and then all I did was add a little bit of coloring to the beak and a little bit of Sharpie to the eye, and it just creates this kind of dimensional look on your card. And then I used the same sentiment stamp that we used here, and so there's tons about, oh, and then the Father's Day card as well. So there's that one. Lots in this release. So I just wanted to make sure that I shared a couple more cards today. Let's see. We got the mandalas and the floral vase. I didn't get the Mother's Day die, but I'll use my Cricut. Yeah, this is one of my favorite. I know, this is a really pretty month. Sure, I have no interest. All right, so let me see if I can switch over and then see if anybody has any questions about the Hero Arts release or anything else, or just want to chat for another second. Let's see here. Split screen. Can we do that? All right, well, okay. No, let's see. Select all. That's what we do. Oh, yay, we did it. So those are the two Mother's Day cards that I wanted to add to the other cards that I made on Monday. Like I said, there's tons in this release. The other thing that I wanted to remind you all of is that this Monday, is the new and must-have crafty supplies video where I'm going to do the D-Stash giveaway. So be sure to check that out. I'm going to leave it open for like a week, so no pressure, you know. And thank you so much for coming here today, hanging out while I made some Mother's Day cards. And what was the other thing? Oh, I sent out an email today. Now, I have been so bad about sending out emails. I never send them out. But if you got an email today about the live, check in your junk too. You're already signed up for the newsletter, and that'll be one of the things on Monday to qualify for the giveaway. So just check for that so you know if you need to sign up or not. And I think if you try to sign up again, it doesn't let you, I think. And so sometimes people get concerned. They think they're not signed up yet, and then I can check if you need me to check. So don't worry about that. We will get that all straightened out on Monday. Yes, I know. When we kind of traded rooms in the house, and when I was going to be crafting in here, I was like, I want everything white with rainbow so I can surround myself with the supplies that I use, because if things are out and in my face, I actually use them. And if they're tucked in drawers, it's really hard for me to remember to use things. So when they're out and they're rainbow on the white, it makes me happy. So Beth, I hear you. Simon said I had a quote that said I did really well at the craft store, and then I got out of the car and went in. That's funny. Yeah, crafting supplies are just fun to buy. Honestly, I enjoy buying crafty supplies more than I enjoy buying clothes and shoes, for sure. like without a doubt. Like there's no contest even. All right, so check your inbox to see if you're signed up for the newsletter. Um, Come back on Monday and check out the new and must have crafty supplies video. And if you haven't seen the other Hero Arts video, I've linked to it in the description of this live. So you can go check that out and see the other stamps and dies that I shared on this past Monday. So thank you all so much for being here. You all just make me smile so much every day. All of your comments, all of your kind words, all of your support. It just literally means the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. So I want you to have a wonderful, crafty weekend, and I will be back next Saturday. This is going to be a thing from now on. We'll just hang out on Saturdays at 2 p.m. Pacific and craft together. So thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon.